because I just play. I sit down with
Yeah,
it and I just work with it.
I'm a lot older than you. I had my first computer when I was 32 years old. I don't play with computers. If I start playing, I take a break. So if you want to move the older teachers on, you have to give them some.
Here's a way that you can approach that. How many of you have felt endeared by our red shirt people that are out there? How many, when you've seen them and you just wanted to cheer, you wanted to go, you felt endeared by that, right? And if one of those guys sat down with you and said, I want to show you something. Let me show you. Would you not do it? Oh, yes. We would do it. Every one of us here. That's why we went into education. We were moved by that. I would say, baby, show me. Look. Okay? So what you do is you set up a group of, I always take what I call my ruffians, and I say that with the most love. I take the roughest hooligans that I have in my school, and I get them to be my technology experts, because now they get a self-efficacy, and they feel like I have something of value that other people in the school don't have. And then I say, hey, look, I got this kid and he's got some self-esteem issues. And what I'd like for you to do is, will you sit down and let him kind of show you some stuff, different programs, and then you can use it in your classroom if you want, but you will. And so because they have this deep abiding interest and love for children, I know you still do, that's why you went into education, we all did. I mean, if you didn't go into education because you wanted to help children and make a difference in the world, then shame on you, get out, okay? So if they sat down with you and they started giving you that incremental help that you wanted, that you had one thing that you were going to do, and this student becomes your champion, the student improves because now they're thinking, wow, I'm getting something of value here, and that spills over to every other academic area. And the teacher who thought they were doing it to help Johnny instead gains so much more from the experience.
Yeah,
So
I often ask my kids.
and that's what I would encourage you to do, is to set it up so that you have reverse mentorship. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I'm a technology integrator, and so this is exactly what I'm facing, this problem, and this is exactly the method that I want to approach, where you approach the kids and you say, okay, run with it, and then eventually they play with it, and the teachers have to catch up because now they're just forced to in a way. But the argument, and this is exactly how I presented it, but the argument there is that it's...
I don't know that I would have used have to and forced.
Okay, yes, lack of a better term.
That's okay.
But the argument that I was faced with there is that it's the teacher that is the overall person that you have to, in a way, sell to. It's the teacher that is giving the curriculum. It's the teacher that is guiding the classroom. So yes, even though if you approach the kids and say, okay, play with it, and then eventually the teachers have to catch on to it, the argument is just you still have to address the teacher's needs that way. And so I found resistance that way and couldn't approach it through the channel of the child. Instead, I still have to address it.
Just so there's clarification, and what I was describing, the kid isn't just playing with the technologies. Instead, what I do is I train the students in particular skills, and then as teachers have things that they want to learn, the student actually sits down with them and works them through it. How about others of you? Have you seen the similar things to what's your name?
Tim?
What that Tim's talking about and describing? Have you seen techniques that do work in helping teachers catch up? What are your experiences? How many of you would consider yourself, we've already had one self-confession, thank you for doing that, but a reluctant technology user? It's not something that comes easy for you. You're willing to do it, but it's not fun.
I'm not going to go there, but
Okay.
because who wants to admit?
Who wants to? That's true.
But I
You went
think,
there pretty easy. I go there. Yeah.
You don't admit it.
Go ahead.
but one of the things that I'm probably there, but I'm more uncomfortable not knowing how things work or what's happening. So I think part of it is to create a culture where teacher as learner is
That's right.
part of the thing too. And so once learners are in a classroom together, and one may be older and a teacher by designation, but that whole interaction is what has, I don't have that fear anymore of having students show me what to do and how to do it, or to say, I've heard about this, can you tell me a little bit about it? And then they start, they're on a computer showing, and things happen that way. So I think that's one of the things, is finding teachers that are more afraid of not knowing what's happening, as opposed to, because I don't think that teachers really want to just stay the same that they were when they started. But they don't know how to change, and that's one of the ways to do is to present things to them. Here's something that you can do, and I think they just need that opportunity.
Reverse mentorship is something that is a very interesting concept. I was working with student that was my intern this summer. In Virginia Beach, at the high school, when you're in the senior level, you do a senior project. And so over the summer, you do intern hours, and you come back and you create a full project that's built around the internship that you had, usually in the area of science and math. So the student came to work with me because he wanted to learn more about technology and how technology could be used in the workplace and careers that could be involved in technology. And so in helping me prepare and teach online and do all the things that he was doing, you know, we have this conception that these students know about Web 2.0 tools. They don't. Many times they don't call them the same things we do. They pick it up easy. They have an aptitude. They're able to learn quickly, but they don't all know what a podcast is. They don't all know how to use blogs, wikis, and oh my, you know, they don't know how to do that. So as he was learning, he was listening to this one podcast where this teacher was sharing, saying that I'm not willing to not know, but I have to tell you I'm afraid. I stay afraid because I only feel like I'm 3 or 4 steps ahead of what the kids know. And it's a very scary thing for me. And so one of the requirements that he had as the internship was to do a blog. And I didn't encourage him or coach him or do anything. I was helping him develop his voice, so I wanted it to be his voice. And it was really funny because what he wrote was, he said, I've been listening to podcasts about teachers, and they've been talking about how they're really afraid because of all these new technologies and the way that the classroom's changing. And, you know, I just want you to know that as a student, after learning about what I've learned, I'm terrified. Why am I terrified? Because I know that no longer will I be able to sit passively in the classroom while you tell me what I need to know. No longer will I be able to be taught. Instead, I'm going to have to be responsible for my own learning. And once more teachers find out about this and classrooms start to change, more students are going to be afraid too, so we'll all be learning together.